Welcome back, guys. I just finished my last video. Decided to get back into this. There's no rain yet. There's supposed to be rain coming, so I'll keep progressing. So I just went to Supercheap Auto and got some paint mixed up. So to mix up the saddle paint, 2 little cups. So the code comes up here. So this is through Supercheap Auto. So yeah, it's bang on. Very good. So they had the code. They had a code on the system. They had the code on the system for the Ford colour, so I got 2 spray packs mixed up. It's just convenient rather than you just have to get your spray gun out. So I'll just use the colour and just put 2K clear over it, give it a bit of durability. I'll show you what I got. So when you get spray pack mixed, it comes in like so, and it's got at the way the process of getting the paint in the can, you get this on top, so you can use that to gauge what it's going to look like. So this is a kick panel, original saddle color. I just used a bit of silicone spray or armor, or whatever you like to call it, to bring this back a bit. So you got that, and then I've got obviously this mint original dash pad, and then I've got the glove box. So the other side of this is painted black. Someone's gone to town and changed the colour, try to be GT. So look at the colour there. So yeah, a fair bit different. That's obviously a lot darker. This is obviously a lot darker, but then you look at this. So the dash top is a hell of a lot lighter than this. But then you look at this, so obviously this looks a bit different to all of them. It's probably a cross between these two. So what I'll do, I might just, rather than go out and go to the trouble of painting this upper dash panel, rather than painting that, I might just do a kickboard, just do a quick job now. It's basically rain coming anyway, so it's going to take a bit of time to prepare this anyway. I'm gonna have to get the clear plastic. I use spray painting and literally cover the whole car, and it's gonna be a lot of work and preparation. Plus I have to sand this, get it all good. It's got a bit of overspray on it, orange. So let's have a go at doing this. Just gave us a hit. So that's the colour. Light's not helping. It's the usual problem. All you can see is reflection. So yeah, it's pretty light. So I've got a sample. Of paint. Sample of carpet. Here we go. Over here. So this is a sample actual colour of the carpet in the car. Heaps darker. Then you go to under the glove box here. Glove boxes are obviously a lot darker. That's more of the common. I recall seeing this sort of colour, so obviously that's probably how it's meant to be. But then I look at the car itself. It's XA. Heaps darker. Here, darker. I don't know. It's weird. Lighting has a lot to do with how you can view this, so it's a bit overcast, but it's weird, isn't it? It's like you look at this glove box, and you look at this color here is like in between. I don't know. To me, it's a little bit. It doesn't seem to be quite dark enough. Seems a bit light to me. Seems to be sort of, I reckon, so it needs to be a bit of. But that's the Ford colour. That's the colour code. The factory code for brown saddle Ford colour. So, Talk of the boys in the forums, Facebook. Yeah, the lighting, you got to get the lighting right. So, yeah, well, so I'll use this, and that was covered, so that's definitely original colour. So yeah, there's no way in hell I'm going to use that other brown I got mixed. You can only try, you just got to see how you go with it. But I know you can't just say, oh, Supercheap Auto, how can you trust them? Mate, I got them to mix me up burnt orange in the same code as what the tradie bloody shops where they get their colours and that from, Autolac in Newcastle, and it was bang on, exactly the same, perfect. I even had the manager of the store mix it up for me, who's been run this show for like, I don't know, so many years, but yeah. So yeah, can't blame Supercheap Auto. It's just a matter of yeah, get it right, correct colour match. So I've got a good sample now, because if you try to use something, I try to get these visors for the Escort, try to get them colour matched. The surface is too coarse, so the machine just wouldn't pick it up. Their machine wouldn't anyway, so I'll go to someone else this time. But I think Spectre or someone in Newcastle. Apparently they've got a bigger, better machine, so I'll try them out. Just over here at my brother's place, Mark, he's got this XC S pack he's restoring. So it's, yeah, XC S pack. It's like some sort of metallic silver. So he's removed the original 6-cylinder out of it, and the Borg Warner 3-speed auto pissed that off. He's got rid of the 75 series Borg Warner diff. Now he had an ED wagon. Had the factory 5-litre Windsor. So he's going to put the Windsor motor in this, and the ED 4-speed auto, and he's got the Borg Warner diff to put in this too. That's already in. But yeah, it's actually in pretty good, because I think it was a inland country car. It's got a lot of red dirt through it. But overall, it's not bad, Nick. The seats have come up alright. Clean them right up. Movie World, Gold Coast. Ford Australia, we're moving with you. So yeah, overall, it's in pretty good nick. But yeah, we're just going through his shed now. He's got. There's the original motor out of the ED that's going into the XE, and he's got, along with that,
but minus the EFI, so no fuel injection. Even though I was going to put it in, I'm just going to be running this here. That's for the BTR auto, so it's going to run a 4-speed auto with the transmission controller. But the rest of all this wiring and junk, I've thought about it. I thought, nah, get rid of it. Just got to go 600 Holly dual plane, a rock manifold or something like that. And obviously you have to modify the rear cross member, but the tail shaft, I've got 3 tail shafts to choose from. I'm not sure one will fit, otherwise I'll take one down to Gibbos.
Yep.
And with get rid of these Ford preschool, like they made them in preschool or something.
What's that though?
Come on, have a look at this. These Ford preschool extractors, like they've gone,
Look at that, the horrible bends.
Just, yeah, so I just got a good set of pacemakers. You can buy pacemakers off the shelf to suit it.
Oh, you're right, eh? They've got like serpentine belt set up, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, get another distributor and...
So what's that you're saying about this power steering pump?
Oh, C2 Ford. It's the same as what Ford used in the XDs and XEs. I didn't realise. They've got them in the Windsors as well. Nice. So I can use an XE factory power steering line.
Cool.
So, happy days there. And
So,
I just use the Clevo water hoses.
Oh, yeah.
So, there and one here. So, and use that, that's an ED Falcon alternator. I don't know what they're rated, 100 amps, maybe 90 amps, I can't remember. And just run a couple of AU thermo fans.
Yeah.
So
he's got these 2 Cleveland blocks he got with the XA coupe. So this one's
out of this is a 302 engine out of a XB
Fairmont, wasn't it?
XB Fairmont, 74 model Fairmont. And whoever old mate got this engine off, they've greased the bores up, they've greased the cams, where the cam bearings are, the mains, and all the oil filter and the dizzy hole as well. So all the vitals have been greased up. We just measured it. Comes at 4 inch. There's a bit of wear beyond that lip. There's like about 10 thou maybe. So hopefully a 20 thou oversize will clean that up. Hopefully. And this one over here, we don't know what it comes out of because I can't, for the life of me.
Might be a bloody Bronco or something, wouldn't it?
Mate, I don't know.
The front sump, but is that?
Yeah, they're all front sumps, but look at the, mate, I don't know if someone's had a go at grinding, like, if that's been ground, and some preschoolers had a go at putting their own stamp on there. I don't know. But this is a 351 engine.
So this, you haven't had a chance to measure the bore yet?
No, we're just about to do that now.
Righto, cool.
So, I mean, it's just with a pair of verniers and a telescopic bore gauge, but it's better than nothing.
So Mark used to be a fitter machinist, so
I've actually got me shirt, this shirt that I'm wearing.
Standings.
Yeah.
Standings.
This is back, what, I used to wear this back in 1998. So this is the lip, which will, because there is a bit of a lip on it.
Yep.
Come on. It's close. I mean, it needs a bit of carbon or something on there. That's probably. Oh. Should be using micrometers, but I've only got the verniers here today. Righto, so that, it's stock, 4 inches.
Ah, sweet.
So,
You got to decide on which block to use, I guess. When it
yeah,
comes
well, I
down
could
to it.
probably use this block, and what I'll do, I'll stamp it to the XA, so then it's matching numbers.
Yeah, that's it. Well, who cares? Is it?
And be cheeky, because I reckon the original XA motor is probably sitting in an F100 truck out in the paddock rusting away.
Yeah.
Or it's, who knows. I mean, if we still had our contacts in the police, and they could do run an engine number through the COP system. But anyway, yeah, so she's all
Sweet.
original.
So what we do know is that XA is from out back of Cessnock somewhere. So the bloke had all these cars laying around his paddock. And he had two. Him and his wife both had. Well, I think he didn't say if they were XA or XB GTs.
He said yeah, car tops.
Couple of GT hardtops. So they used him. His wife had them, and that Mark's XA was used as a spare parts car. But then this bloke broke up his wife, and they separated. So they both cars from different directions. But we don't know anything more about them. So yeah, righto. Probably let Mark get back to it. I've been holding him up for about an hour now.
All good, mate. Got to get this. This is the project now. Got to get this thing going. So I bought a heap of Cardinal red paint for the old ED I was going to do up, but now the coupe's come on board. This is going to get painted in Cardinal red, and then I'll put all your S-Pack stickers and whatnot back on there. Black interior.
So you leaving this interior as it is? Or are you going
Oh, I'm going to go black, I think.
black? So what about seats? You getting them retrimmed, are you?
No, I just put black seat covers on.
Oh yeah, cool. Because this he doesn't give a rat's ass about this. This is going to be.
Yeah.
He's going to use this, run around in it. And,
This will be my basically. I'll get it on full rego, so it'll be my daily.
Yep.
I'll just drive it to work and back. And I'll get rid of the old X5 Beamer.
Because these cars are pretty damn, like back in the day, they're pretty reliable. Like, you know, they have little things going wrong, but overall.
Well, the good thing about them, they build them to. Look, they got like caveman suspension on them, but who cares if you hit like a pot? You could run a speed up at 60 km an hour. You hit a bang bang, but it's not going to break anything.
No. And these got a lot of similarities between, like the towers here and the cross member and that. They're so
The
similar.
steering boxes are exactly the same,
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
much. Yeah.
Yeah. Right then, I'll let him get back to it, and I'll get back to working on my cars. Just finished 3 night shifts. I've decided, I might almost got a week off now, so I'm thinking I might hook into this Jeep and just make a start on it, get as much as I can done. That way I've got rest of the week to work on this bad boy. A bad girl, whatever I like to call it. So I've got, this is one of the big end bearings. This is one of the bad ones. You see how it's spun, all shiny on this side. So yeah, I went through this place in America called Rock Auto. So they've got a variety of different parts for different American cars. Yeah, so I got new big end bearings. Paid extra, get a little bit better ones than normal. So this factory size. Got them. I got a stripped 2 of these. These weren't cheap. Everything else was cheap, but these were like $90 American for like 6 of them. That's all I had left. So I couldn't just buy 2, I had to buy 6. So got them ready, and I've also got a new sump gasket, which has got a built-in baffle. So yeah, I'll use a bit of silicone on this because they leak pretty bad at the factory. Yeah, so I've got a Jeep Grand Cherokee workshop manual now, so I can know the torque settings, get it right. Thought I'll show you what I'm up to. So I'm underneath the Jeep, just clean up those cylinder 1 and 2 journals. They come up really good. Can't polish them, but there's just no room. So I'm getting under here and I'm having a good look. You'll see right up in here, the cylinders look mint. I mean, you can't really tell how good they are. The top's what I would look at, but yeah, I'm just going through each big end. See right up in the exhaust manifold, see those bolts hanging out. I can't push them out, I'm gonna have to lob them off shorter. It's gonna be fun. And you see there, it looks like a Welsh plug. You see that Welsh plug right in the middle of the screen there? Is a drain plug next to it. I thought the Welsh plug might have been leaking, but nah, someone's undone the drain plug to do a engine flush, I'd say. And yeah, so underneath the PowerTech V8, I'll show you something else now. Where people go wrong with these Jeeps is they, not that you're probably interested in this, but these V8 PowerTechs, people don't look after them, and then they got a bleed point here, and you don't know that they're low on water when they got a leak, and because you're not checking the expansion tank, and that gets low and it stops sucking water out to keep yourself topped up, it gets low, and then yeah, you get overheating and they warp the heads in an instant. The one I had before this, it actually galled the piston inside the bore and actually just pulled the piston down the bore and just done massive damage. Still started and ran, but it ran like a dog. I knew what to look for when it happened. But yeah, this one looks really good. So the only thing they've done wrong, they haven't changed your oil enough, I reckon. And it's I reckon old mate, the fella I bought this from, comes from near Nelson Bay, New South Wales, and there's sand all through the car and through the engine bay. So he told me, he said he's taken the beach, he's had fun with it. So I'm like, yeah, that's what you do. But I reckon he's gone to the beach because this sump has had a horrible leak. It's a common fault with him. So it's had a horrible leak. He hasn't checked the oil. He's probably gone beach or something. The oil lights come on. He's like, oh, shit. That's not good. Put some oil in it. Damage is done. Spun the bearings. Then it's had a knock. And then he's thought, oh, I'll flip it. So I paid $3,000 for this. And when I spoke to Shannon's to get full comprehensive on it, they said, oh, yeah, that's how much you to pay for it. I said, oh, $3,000. They said, oh, that's the market value is between $7,000 to $9,000. And I'm like, oh, cool. I'll go for $7,000. They said, oh, nah. I probably shouldn't have told them. But yeah, so it's only insured for $5,000 now, but it's worth a whole lot more. I could get it going now if I wanted to and flip it and sell it, but no, I'll fix it. Up bright and early. Spent the time this morning, research, reading books, learning. Always try to read stuff in the morning if I want to learn information. Best time of the day. So yeah, I'm just going to keep working this Jeep today. I've taken the son to school, so I'll get stuck into wrap this bloody thing up. So I'll get back to work. Get back to work on this thing. So at the moment, what I've done now, I've just got the exhaust. So this comes, I was talking about, this is what comes off the motor, the exhaust manifold. I'll put it up on the suspension a minute and just show you what I'm going to do. But so this is the factory exhaust, but what I've done, I've got rid of the massive Chrysler muffler. And I put this cherry bomb muffler. They use them in American muscle cars and stuff. So I bought this off eBay, American eBay, and yeah, Took a while to get it. Took about a month, but yeah, put that on. The car sounds freaking awesome. Just had to get the exhaust shop, make a little extension bit for it. And yeah, that's good. Then it just keeps going to the factory. Rest of the factory exhaust. So the first Jeep I had dual exhaust system on it, stainless steel. It sounded freaking amazing. So what I'll say that what they've done, they've just branched off from where these exhausts merge into one. So yeah, I think yeah, that'd be ideal, but I'm not gonna worry about doing that shit. I mean, it's just a lot of work. I don't want to put too much time into this Jeep. I don't have to, but I'm gonna got the V-band, put that here, put a V-band there ready, and then these are what was holding this on to the exhaust manifolds coming off the heads. So they're a good idea, but this one here, you can see here, it's how it actually started to spin when I tried to undo it, so I've had to lob them off. These are a shit to get off, so I had to lob them off just so I can get this exhaust off. So I've got a super cheap board, I've got these. And what I'm going to do with these nuts, because they'll spin naturally, I'm just going to get the welder and put little rods coming off it, just so that it, so I can undo them again, and then I'll put a bit of heat resistant anti-seize on there. That way, yeah, if this, I have to take the exhaust off again, which I'm more than inclined to do if I keep the car long enough to rebuild the motor. Yeah, I can easily get these off, because once you get this off, it's freaking easy to do what you need to do underneath. So yeah, so what I'll do now, I'll just quickly put this up on the bench and show you what I'm going to do. So what I need to do, lob that off straight, put that on there, weld it on, and then I'm going to dummy fit this onto the car. Actually, I can actually permanently fit it. I don't have to worry about just dummy fitting. Permanently put this on the car, and then all I have to do is put this exhaust on, put the rear section on first, put the middle section on, and that way I'll lob that off and I'll find out exactly where I need. So I'll put this flange, I'll literally put the second half of this flange on here, marry it up with that, drag the welder out, put little tack welds on it, then take the middle section off and permanently weld that on. That way, done. But I've actually, on these new school cars, the O2 sensors eventually shit themselves. So what I've done, I've got an application on my phone and it connects to the computer in the Jeep and it tells me all the live data. So it's telling me what the exhaust, what the sensors are doing. Yeah, it's watching it all. And the only things I can pick up on with the injectors, it's saying I think these two front ones before the cats are telling me that there's too much, they're too rich, which indicates that the injectors might be putting too much fuel in or not vaporizing it properly as they do as they get old. So I've ordered new injectors for it 2 weeks ago and they're still not here. And yeah, so new injectors. And then I noticed with the motor, watching the live data in the motor, and it said the air temperature sensor, it said it was this 45 degrees. It never changes, it stayed on that. So that indicates to me when the engine's cold, it's not the computer needs to know the exact temperature because they're going to use more fuel when it's cold and less fuel when it's hot. So that could contribute to the running conditions of the motor. So I'll have to order an air temp sensor, but yeah, I have to make sure I get the right one. There's different types. It's finished getting the exhaust ready. So I've got this V-band, goes on there. And I've got bolts. Here's the original, one of the originals that come out. So the originals I had to lob them off through the middle there just to get this exhaust off the manifold. So yeah, they're ready to go on. Just welded old thread bar I had on there to prevent them spinning. I think they should work. Same principle. Don't know. It's not a big issue putting it back on or getting it off again once you use anti-seize. So you got this stuff here. So nickel anti-seize. So this stuff will resist exhaust temperatures. So yeah, put that on generously, and then yeah, sweet. Move on to the next part. Total success. The Jeep sounds absolutely mint. New big end bearings. I've dropped the sump of the transmission, put 2 new filters in it, new fluid, resealed the sump. And while I was at the sump, I've done the same as what I've done in my BF Falcon. I made a sump drain plug for it, so that way I can just whenever I want, I can just drain 4 litres out of it, and then put fresh 4 litres fresh in, just like do that every now and then, keep the fluid nice and fresh. But yeah, the motor sounds mint, no leaks. I just bit of smoke. I accidentally spilt a bit of fluid on the exhaust. Being a V8, the exhaust manifold's directly under the filler points. Bit of exhaust rattle, as you heard. But yeah, she sounds mint. No rattles, no noises. Great. Beautiful sound. V8. Let it sit now. Just pulled in here at Brankston Smash Repairs and got some saddle paint mixed up. Nice Jaguar. Got an Escort panel band sitting at the back there. So yeah, something else I got to show you too that happened in this area. About a month has passed since that last little clip. I went to a panel shop near me in Brankston, and got some paint mixed up for this car. But what I was going to tell you is about this panel shop at Brankston. It's like 3 kilometres away from where that tragedy happened with the bus, where 10 people lost their lives. I was on my way to work. It was Monday, public holiday. It was Monday, and yeah, they were diverting traffic, and I'm like, what the hell's going on here? This is weird. Why are they doing roadworks for this time of day in this road? Turns out, yeah, that bus accident on this big roundabout leading onto Hunter Expressway. So yeah, absolute tragedy. I feel so sorry for all the families and all the people involved. Yeah, so I went to this panel shop at Brankston. I gave them this glove box door, and I got them to colour match the paint from this area here, because this is covered. It's got like a metal strip across it. So yeah, they matched it to that. They couldn't use the machine because it was too small an area, but what he done his best he could to match it to what he could, and he mixed it like a satin. So here's the paint here. Naturally, it's going to look a lot darker because it's wet. Once they dry it, generally you get a better indication. But yeah, I'll have to test this paint out, I think. But yeah, I took the Jeep last night, finished it, took for a drive just now. The motor sounds great, no knocking, no funky sounds or anything, but it's starting to break down like it does when you try and accelerate, and when you're really into it above 5,000 RPM, it gets like a miss to it, like it's not getting enough fuel or something. So I've got it home, parked it up, connected up. It's throwing 2 codes which indicate that it's getting too much fuel. So that could be injectors, faulty O2 sensors, a few other little things. But yeah, I've ordered injectors 2 weeks ago, and I went for this place in Australia, and I'm not going to name and shame them, but they rebuild computers in cars. They do a lot of work, but I'm starting to learn, based on reviews, that he's got a lot of bad raps about parts that when you order for him. So it looks like to me he's someone it's like he's had a big business and it's gone down in size, and he's trying to keep up. He's working by himself. But I rang him yesterday to find out what's going on with these injectors, and he just said that he orders injectors once he gets the order, and he's going to send me a tracking number, and I still haven't got it. So yeah, I'm going to be hassling him. If I don't get it, any sort of positive results from the next week or 2, I'll just go through PayPal, get my money back, and just probably buy genuine injectors. Noticed with the Falcons and that, when it comes to the Falcon BFs, FGs, all that, they order all their sensors and that, they're all Bosch. It's all top shit. I don't had these sort of issues with the Falcons. They just seem to be really good. I don't know. It's 2004 models are getting on now, but yeah. So what I'll do, what I need to do to keep progressing with this, this here has to be stripped back to bare metal. So it's got a lot of overspray and crap over top of it, which will come up easy with a paint stripper. But yeah, I'll see how I go with it. But it's got the original brown underneath it, which will be a bit harder to get off generally fine, but the paint strippers, they don't, the original paints, they sort of struggle a bit more than the newer stuff. Yeah, so I've got to strip that back to bare metal, and then I've got this area here, this dash, needs to be prepared from that point there onwards. Then I've got the kickboards. Oh yeah, and then obviously this lid. But I found from factory, it appears that when they put the screws in here, they're too long, and they've actually dented on this side, unless someone's put new screws in there for whatever reason. But yeah, so that's no good. I'll have to get onto that, because that'll stick out like dog's balls once I once I put a new fresh coat of paint over it. Got to the point, I was going to start preparing this upper dash area to be painted. Problem I'm having, I was going to strip this back to bare metal, but it looks like it looks like all it needs to be sanded. So the problem I'm having is, right, I'm going to paint that to be that colour. I've got colour matched. I don't know if it's even a saddle anymore. It's like, I don't know, some poo brown. I don't know. But yeah, so this needs to be prepared in order to paint that colour. But the problem I'm having, I've just pulled the cover off this 1972 XA Fairmont Pepper Red, and it's got the saddle interior. I really like it. But yeah, I'm looking at the whole dash area. So obviously this is all the same, upper dash, all the vinyl over the top of the glove box lid. The only part that's black is this middle area here. But then I realised, looking at the dash I've got out of my car, someone's got excited and they've tried to make the car into like a GT. So they've painted it all black. So these side areas here, the sun's not helping me cause, but see how it's all matched. It's all the same colour. So the problem I'm having is, this is like a completely original, really good condition upper dash pad that I've got. And if you have a look on this dash that I've got out of my car, is the XB, this is all black. So they've painted all this black, but this, according to looking at that XA there, this is the same colour as the upper dash pad. So I'm like, righto. So then I got the paint that I got mixed up from Supercheap Auto, which is a saddle Ford colour for interior, and it's nothing like it. So I was hoping that I could use this paint to paint this area here and this area here to make it sort of match the upper dash, but it's not going to work that way. The main problem is, this is a Fairmont, the XA is a Fairmont, this is a Falcon 500 XB, so different. So the interior in the Fairmonts, they've got the vinyl going over top of the glove box, where the Falcon 500 is just steel. So even this glove box, which is out of the XB, compared to the XA is lighter. So I don't know if it's that faded with the sun. Obviously it's not the best condition, the XAs, but yeah, so it's really struggling with this. I've just tried getting on Australian muscle car sales, because they've got really good high definition photos and go through the history, and it's like a large majority of them are Fairmonts. Then you look at Falcon 500s, and then they've got the vinyl over top of the glove box lid and all that. So, and then the photos, like, I'm really struggling to find good information. I've been on the Facebook groups, I spoke to them about it. I've been told, yeah, and the bloke who bought this car he knows a lot about all these generations of Falcons and models and stuff. But he straight out said that it's that poo brown is basically goes right around glove box lid plus all that, and the upper, all he said was this up area is saddle. So I'm thinking the only way to really go about it is to just paint this with the colour I've got, paint that, the poo brown, plus this area's here, this, and obviously all that. Yeah, it would have been so much easier. Would have been so much easier just to get black, but just do interior in black. But I don't want to do that. I know black's awesome, it looks good, but I really like the saddle and the chamois and all the different other colours. I've gone black in the Escort. Yeah, it looks good in that car, but yeah, I'm trying to keep everything original, but it's so damn hard. I've got the all-4 day on Sunday. I was going to take the Escort, but it just time went by, and had to pull the Escort's engine out, and I'm just like, I just can't be bothered. I don't even feel like going there now. I just want to keep doing my thing, but yeah, it would have been really good to go to the all-4 day and look at a Falcon 500 if there's any there and get an idea of what they're doing. But yeah, most people just, obviously it looks better when you've got vinyl over the glove box and those areas. But yeah, so what I'll do now, I'll just sand this back, make it look all pretty. It's already got primers over it, but yeah, I'll get it down like that. And then I'll paint this brown, see how it looks. I wouldn't mind putting 2K clear over it, but I think from factory they've got like a, for what I gather, it's like a matte or a satin sort of finish. So we'll see how it looks. I can't bring myself to the idea of painting this upper dash pad. It's obviously suited for an XA. So I'll put that back in store. I've got the BF Falcon wagon. I'm using that to store all this stuff for the time being because I'm just running out of room. Yeah, so I've got this original dash pad, well, the one I got with the car. So yeah, obviously it's not the best condition. It's got a crack here. It's got cracks there. It's got this part here, and a crack across here, but that's pretty much it. So usually you'd go, oh, don't bother with this one, just get one retrimmed. Yeah, I get that, but if I get one retrimmed, I'm gonna have to get it to be the same color as the rest of the dash, and yeah. So I'm thinking what I might do. I've had to do this before when I was restoring the Escort after I had the shed fire. Believe it or not, Escorts are freaking heaps harder than these cars to find the original interior bits because people just go ape shit and they just gut the interior and turn them into race cars, whatever. So I got a dash pad for the Escort. I found one at bloke in Sydney had had one at an old Ford wrecker, and he sold to me for like $80 or whatever it was. But he had a mark across it where someone's had an angle grinder and they damaged it. So I'm like, righto. So I fixed it up. Not as bad as this upper dash pad, but along the same line. So all I did it was fill the hole in, which wasn't really an obvious area as this one. But then I just, yeah, went for the process, the plastic primer or vinyl primer. And yeah, it looks absolutely mint now. You would never know. But yeah, it's a bit of work involved. But yeah, if it saves me ruining a perfectly good XA dash pad, well, it'll be worth it. So what I've done, I've used super glue to strengthen all the cracks underneath, and then I tested it and see if the cracks, if it actually split. It doesn't. So what I've done now, I've used body filler. This isn't the perfect product, but it's easy to sand off. So what I've done, I taped up each side of the crack, so you're not going to get excessive amounts where you don't want it. Then I'll just, before it goes off, not after, take this off like that. That way I've got less area to work on. Ooh, yeah, it's sticking good there. So they're the areas that I've got. So here's the one that's really dramatic. Let's see how we go with this one. Do you see how important it is to do this before it goes off? Because once this goes off, you try to do this and it's going to rip everything up. I really need to go to Bunnings and get more stocks. I'm really starting to go off now. I'm really starting to get low. Sandpapers, rags, stuff like that. So yeah, I might just let that sit now for a bit. I really also need to get from Bunnings is some sticky back or felt back sandpaper. That way I can just smooth these areas out a bit. See, the problem you have when you get too excited and you sand it too much, you get these smooth areas and it'll stick out like dog's balls once you paint it. So that's why I'm going to try to focus on just doing the areas that needs it. But over here, the cracks, I tried to get them to close up and get them line up, but they don't. But I'll just sand, carefully blend in them. And then yeah, when I use the primers, I'll give it sort of a coarse finish to make it all sort of blend in. It's never going to be as good as it was like new, but yeah, you do what you can. But yeah, this looks like it could be saved, but the big test will be the end result. See how it looks. Bit fresh this morning. It's like had ice everywhere. I'm just sick and tired of zooming in and out with this damn phone. Yeah, so what I'm doing now, I just got this Ryobi one tool. It's got a nice little head on it, so you can really focus on areas that really need to be cleaned up, small areas. But yeah, I had to glue in here really well because it just it's a weak point where it flexes. So it seems to be holding up good. I can hold by the metal now, it doesn't break, but I'm not going to deliberately do it again. I'm just going to yeah, just treat it like it's extremely fragile. See how I go with it. If I'm not happy with it, I can just, yeah, get another one retrimmed later on. Finished product. So I've used the Supercheap Auto 13401, the color code they had on the system. That's all they've got in the system, because I went in there yesterday to see if they could mix up the actual code for the XB brown color, and they haven't got the code in the system. So that's why I couldn't work out why I used an XA color, because that's all I had. But even it's nowhere near close to what the other dash pad is. I'll just go grab the other one, or we'll put it up beside this just to compare it. So here's a comparison. So this one is obviously meant to look like this original factory XA1, which is in perfect condition, but it doesn't. I mean, I know people say they fade, but yeah, no, not that much. I mean, you look at the under areas, almost looks like, no shit, almost looks like this one's been painted. I can see like a bit of like a lighter colour under it in some spots. It wouldn't bloody well surprise me. I'll have to look at it a bit further, but yeah, looking around here, I can't see anything. It's all the same colour, but yeah, I'm not going to use this. I mean, I was looking into it. It looks really good, but then when you look at it, you can see defects. I mean, the reality is, there's options. I could either paint that one, which is like a sin doing it, but it's either that, or I have to go out. There's a place in Victoria. I spoke to them, and it's about 4 to 6 weeks turnaround. But then, can they guarantee they're going to get the same colours we've got here? Absolutely not. No way. I've already been to a trimmer, and they said it can be a bit of a challenge sometimes. You're better off just ordering all the material in bulk and then using the same material for everything. So I think the best bet is just to paint this one in the same colour, do it all the same. That way, yeah, it's all how it is. But don't know what I'm going to do with this one now. I mean, it could be used, but I don't know. Guess I'll just put it on the wall as something to look at. So I'm getting this ready now. Just taking the air vent out. This won't need much work. Just a light sand just to scuff it all up and smooth it out. Get rid of any rust if there's anywhere. I'll notice these vents. I always wondered why this thing is so flimsy. It's got little tabs down the bottom there that make it tighter, so that should be an easy one to crack. But check this little clock out. Look, it looks a bit warped. Look at the straight edge. Yeah, nothing I can do about that. You could try to do stuff to it, but it's probably just going to crack. So I've got the driving light switch too. That's put that aside. They're not cheap. But yeah, so what I'll do, I'll just tape up the areas. I won't bother trying to remove all this. I was going at one point, but I think I'll just protect all the areas that I don't want paint on, and yeah, just paint here, all here in the brown, all up in here, and then I'll just need to do this upper dash area. I won't worry about doing the kick panels. I think I don't want to get over my head, you know. When it comes to spray painting, and when you haven't got a spray booth, you try to sort of do it in stages. You don't try to do too much in one hit. Plus, I'm not going to fit the kick panels to the car for a long time yet, as long as I've got some paint left over. So if I need to be, I can use what I got left, or I could use what I got left to I could use to make more and then colour match it. Almost finished the lid. almost finished in here. Then I've got this dash pad, which I was really like, what? How can I possibly do it? It's like put the primer on. I'm like, nah, this is wrong at every level. But it's just an XA, not an XB. So that's my justification for doing this, I guess. Well, that's done. I think you can see much of that light in the background. Ugh. It's they asked me, they said, what do you want at a matte, a gloss? And he said, how about we do a satin? I'm like, yep. So I think I'll leave it. I was going to put 2K clear over it, and I thought, you know what? Stuff that. You got to be realistic. This will get scratched at some point. You know, it's so easy to do. Someone just hits it, scratches it. Then if it's acrylic, it's so easy to repair, especially being a flat color. It's not even a metallic. So yeah, I've got the dash come out freaking perfect. It's come out really good. So what I did use, I used this stuff here called Bulldog Adhesion Promoter. This is what Auto Lac recommended to use when I was like the sun visors in the Escort. They were the wrong colour. Maybe I think they're wrong colour or they're faded. I don't know what they were. Probably think they're faded. So yeah, they said to use this. Yeah, whatever I use this on, it bloody well sticks good. It's a really good product, but yeah, it comes at a price. It's like, I think it's $45, $50 a can or something. So yeah, but it goes a long way. It lasts a long time. So yeah, I might just, seeing this as acrylic, it goes off real quickly. So I could touch that easily now, but I won't. But the beauty of this acrylic too, because I used acrylic paint, I started off with the adhesion promoter, then acrylic primer, then acrylic paint. If I wanted to, I could just use acrylic thinner and just lift this straight off, come straight off to how it was, because the adhesion promoter is clear anyway. It goes on like, looks like a bloody, like a clear when you put it on. It comes all glossy and that. But yeah, so what I need to do now is probably tomorrow. I'll let it sit for today, and tomorrow I reckon I'll put the dash back in the car. I might put this in. Might just leave it in there, I'm not sure. Just got to be so careful not to bloody scratch it, but there's nowhere else for it anyway. I've got nowhere to put it. I've just fitted up the dash pad and the cluster, the glove box and stuff. I'll just show you how it looks. Looks pretty damn good, I reckon. Yeah, it looks great. Might help. Nope. So yeah, bloody fits up like a glove. It's amazing. All goes together pretty good. A few hard spots to get, like I can't find a lot of the screws. I don't know where they've gone. I don't know if this had all original screws with it, but there's so many. It's so hard to find everything. So it just means I've just got to go get online, get online to go to Bunnings. I've got nuts and bolts place, my area, and just yeah, get all the bits and pieces I need, nuts and bolts and screws and all the stuff to hold all together. Yeah, it looks beautiful. Really, I need to obviously clean that up. I actually got a bit of double-sided tape, and it made it so it's tight. So it opens it. It's a bit too tight. It's all right. I can easily take it out. It's just a dummy fit. You got to try dummy fit it before you permanently put it in. But yeah, looks really good. This here, I notice there's a bit of a gap. There's a bit of a gap there. I'm thinking I might have to, what I think's happened, I stuck my head up beyond the dash, and you got these little clips here. It's that little spot in the middle. They clip into like a hole. So I noticed that one on the passenger side, yeah, the clip actually come off and it was stuck. It was stuck to the dash. So I had to take it off, and yeah, must have put it on central, but I could easily get up there and get my arm in there and swivel around to get it in the right spot, and then that'll sit. That'll close that gap up then. Yeah, so And also that area, notice this area here won't close up properly. And notice, oh yeah, there's a screw there. You put a metal of a screw in there, same as this side. So just little things I'm picking up on because don't know a lot about these, but I'm learning. And yeah, this section, it's hard trying to show you stuff dark. I've got this thing here that sits up in there. Had some like this vinyl over it, but it's just, yeah, too far gone. Yeah, so I'm at the point now where I can move on to the hood lining. I've got it ready to go up, but the trouble is I've got to sort through the wiring and make sure I put the right wire up there for the interior light. I could probably, you can get away with putting the wire up there and pulling it through, but do I really want to risk that? I probably could I could easily just run new wires. I've got red and black wiring. I need the black, red for positive, black will be the for the body. Yeah, I could probably just run a positive wire along there. So I've got a wire that goes interior light. It's got the C-pillar. There's lights that go up there on the Fairmonts and GTs, but not on the Falcon 500, so I'll leave them out. I won't worry about them. Yeah, I'm just struggling for room. One of the mates is restoring it's an LX Tirana, and he borrowed the rotisserie off me, which was sort of doing me a favour because then I had a little bit more room in the shed here to move around and stuff because I don't need this rotisserie anymore. So what happened, the guy who took it to was just swamped with work. Just like all these stories I hear about people taking their cars to people that get restored and they sit there and do nothing, and progressions, everyone's just swamped with work. That's why you're better off if you're willing to learn, you got the time, restore it yourself. Because yeah, my mate's, he's installed, so he took the rotisserie back. The car didn't even go onto the rotisserie, it's still a rolling shell. So yeah, so I thought they're dropping hints. My mates were dropping hints about me doing a lot of repairs on it, and I was umming and ahhing because I got a fair bit of work on. But I thought, you know what, I can have a go at that. He sent me a video, and I sent me photos, and I made a video of it. I'll have to show you, so I'll do a screen recording to show you at the end of this video. But yeah, it's just LX Tirana, 4-door, obviously. He wants to make into SLR 5000 replica. But yeah, they're dropping hints about me doing the work on it, so I thought, yeah, righto, why not? But I told him, I said, I'll work on it 1 day a month. 1 day a month I'll work on it. I'm going to put the rest of my time into whatever else we'll need to do. But this car's up to the assembly point now. It's not like it was before. So yeah, it's just over the next couple of months I'll be chasing up all the door trims, new seat covers, probably put the hood line up tomorrow maybe. I'll do a video on that because I know a lot of guys want to see that. I've done it once before, I'm no expert. But the same sort of style material as the Escort. They call it Moon Crater or something, but I think I showed you this in the last video. Here it is here. When I was I think when I was restoring the Escort. I don't know why. Don't know why I ordered it so soon. Yeah, so interested to see if they cover the A-pillars here. They cover these roof pillars, but because I hadn't painted them. Yeah, it should be interesting, but I'll do a video on that because I know a lot of guys want to see it. And I'll put the back window in, and yeah, the journey continues. But it's all straightforward, man. It's straightforward to me now. It's just time consuming. So right, guys, I'll keep this updated where I'm at. I'm going to put more time into this now. The other cars I've got are going all right. The wagon's sweet. The Jeep, I think it's I've did a bit of research last night, and I think it's a throttle position sensor that's gone in that car. So once I replace that, it's just a matter of putting a lift kit in it and get a wheel alignment. That's it for that car. Then the Escort's sweet. Just need to get dyno tuned. I've been driving around again today. Picked the son up from school and it's going brilliant. So yeah, I'll be able to focus on putting more time in this car and yeah, keep progressing with it. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll chat to you later. So here it is. He sent me these photos through of his Tirana, and just to identify some of the areas that need to be fixed. is in rust. So the rear panel, you can't see much of anything there. Yeah, rear left hand side lower rear quarter's totally gone, but I think he's got the section to replace that. What do you can't see anything there? Oh, there, driver's side, same situation, no problems. I don't know if they, from what I gather, they don't make as many rust replacement sections for these trainers as they do the old Falcons. Which, yeah, I suppose they did make a lot of these parts, so in saying that, there you still can chase up some parts for them. Yeah, that's a photo with the upper plenum. You can see a bit of the cancer there. There's a better photo coming up. Yep. Top of the A-pillar. Same area as the Falcons. So you can see, I'll zoom in. You can see that there's like the 3 different skins there. You got the one underneath. You got a middle section, then you got another one. There might be 2 actually, I'm not sure. But yeah, definitely the outer section's all gone, but I'm well aware that Mick told me that he's got that whole section out of a car in good condition, so that's gonna be challenging. I mean, it's just work. It's more time. Yeah, upper plenum. Yeah, that's easy. Just for do little sections at a time. That's another area. I don't know if you can buy them new, but you don't really have to. You can repair that. Yep. So you can see in there, in the wheel well, you can see all the holes there. Same as mine was in the coupe, but I think Mick wants to make this into a SLR 5000 replica, so I think they cut a lot of their area out anyway. But you can see there, the door there's a bit of rust. Bottom of the door there. Yep, same as that. Yep, you can see around the tail light area, all lower areas, yeah, rusted out. Nothing bad, it's easy. Yep, you can see the torque box or the, you can see the outer sill there. You see, you could easily people think, oh yeah, just weld that up. No, you try weld that, it's going to blow through. So that metal there would be really thin. So I'd be inclined. I think you can buy new sections there. Just buy a new section, put that in, and that'll fix that problem. Because that's integrity issue too. If you go, yeah, if you don't fix that up properly, yeah, it's not good. Yeah, that's another area they rust. So I think that's where the hinges for the bonnet, they bowl up there. So yeah, you just simply drill out the spot welds and you just fix that up and put it back on. But I think they have new sections for that, I think, from Rare Spares. Yep, same as the other side. Yep, cancer, major cancer, all good. Yep, more photos of the upper plenum. Yeah, so I think that's about it. Yeah, this side's pretty bad too. Nowhere near as bad. My car is simple. It's actually a lot worse than this. You can see daylight all through there in mine. Unreal. Yeah, so he wants to paint this car in burnt orange. Same as mine. So I don't know if I'm doing the paint yet. See what happens. But yeah, that's the LX Tirana.